Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Bird, Nick, and with me via Zoom is Nick Gervais, owner of My Monthly Cigars and Fahking Good Coffee.
What's up?
Not much.
Me.
How are you?
Oh man, long time.
I know, right? I know. Well,
thanks for having me back right away.
Yeah, well, you know, we're talking Parishioners top list of 2023, and well, since you kind of did all the work to the top cigars of 2023, the list of the
call it whatever, what it is.
Yeah,
the Parishioners Cigar Pulpit Parishioners top 25 cigars of 2023.
I'm tired.
It's not just anyway. It's not just any list.
But you did the work, and so I brought you on to help talk about that. So we're talking about that. So, now before we get into it too far, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, which is the fact that I am in a room, and so as a result,
I
don't
even want to make the joke.
You son of a bitch!
I thought that's where you were going when you said
really? No, I'm meaning I'm in a room. So I can't now. So I can't smoke. I'm inside, and I'm out of town, and I'm staying with family. And I'm the only option for having a cigar is going outside. And given the fact that it's stupid cold out right now, and dark, I chose to not have a cigar and to do this inside. So I will not be smoking tonight. However, what are you smoking tonight?
I found this cigar. Thought I was out of them. Yeah, I found one. I thought I was out of them. It is the Diesel from I think last month or the month before a box. The Diesel Wicked Torpedo.
Well,
yeah.
Well, there you go.
Powerful punch. I was smoking some of December's box earlier today, and those go out today when this airs. So those will be outside. I didn't want to smoke one of those and kind of shove it in people's faces. So. You know what I'm saying?
Heaven forbid that you shove something in somebody's face.
Get arrested for shit like that.
Exactly. Well, if I were smoking,
they paid for it.
Okay. Yeah. She asked for it, officer. She asked for it.
You should see what she was wearing. A nice cardigan.
A nice cardigan.
We're a little overtired, right?
Yeah, a little
Sorry.
bit.
God, Dan. Sorry, Dan. So sorry, Dan.
If I were smoking, the official cut would be brought to you by Dan the Man Ponder over there at Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. He's got all kinds of great cigars for your smoking enjoyment right now. And, like me, maybe you're in a situation where you're in the St. Louis area. You are you're maybe staying with family, staying with friends, or maybe you just don't have anywhere to go outside and smoke in cold weather. Well, you can go to Dan the Man Ponder's place and have a cigar in his lounge, because Dan's one of the few places in St. Louis that actually stays open fairly late. I mean, even their holiday, like wintertime hours, when they shorten their hours, they close at 8 p.m., which is still later than a lot of lounges around. So, you can still go and have a cigar in the lounge and, enjoy it in nice, comfortable, warm temperatures. So if you're in the St. Louis area, go by Riverman Cigar Company. If you're not in the St. Louis area and still want to support a brick and mortar, you can give him a call, because he does do mail order, and he will get a shipment of cigars sent to you right away. It's Riverman Cigar Company of Crestwood, Missouri. And with that, it's time that we go ahead and... Did you do it?
Yep.
It was very weak.
It's right here.
Oh, got the cigar.
Was it really loud? Because I couldn't hear that.
I think you plowed the speaker into the microphone.
Like that jet you thought came through the tent earlier?
Yeah, dude, something made a noise that sounded like a jet engine coming through your tent earlier. Anyway, holy shit. So, okay.
Riverman Cigar Company, Crestwood, Missouri.
Yes. We are talking about the Cigar Pulpit Parishioners top cigars of 2023 list. And top 25.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't always supposed to be a top 25 list.
Correct.
Last year it was a top 10 list. We had every intention of it being a top 10 list. But so the way this list works is I have nothing to do with it. Nick only manages the data. He has nothing to do with it. This is purely driven by the listeners, by the parishioners. So within the parishioners group on Facebook, we solicit nominees for voting. And so the parishioners fill out a form where this year they nominated their top 3 cigars of the year. And in terms of criteria, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, there really isn't much criteria. It's not like it had to come out this year.
Right.
Basically, it's what are you enjoying in 2023? So there's some new stuff. There's some old stuff on the list.
Yeah, we kind of look. We're no big publication. We're just 2 sexy guys trying to do a cigar, top cigar list. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that was, but
rubbing the nipple.
Don't ever do that again.
Oh, Billy.
Something's growing downstairs. While tingly in my trousers.
Anyway,
I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so
Parishioners
we don't
list.
have any criteria. Yeah, no, I know
Yes.
I'm talking about that asshole.
Yeah.
All right, so there's no criteria. It's really it's not easy to do that. That's a lot of information to say, hey, what came out this year? And then we got to double check and fact check it. And I don't know.
A lot did come out this year.
A lot did, no doubt. People, and last year was the same. So the criteria was essentially, what was your favorite cigar this year? What smoked well? Did it come out this year? Fine. If it didn't, it's not a big deal. And you'll see with the list, or as people have already seen, most of the list has come out. There's a lot of stuff that didn't come out this year. So yeah, simple criteria. Maybe we narrow it down next year. I don't know, but I kind of like this way because if something new came out, if we limited it to something new, we couldn't have this top 25. And like you said, this wasn't intended to be a top 25 list. We intended to do a top 10 list. But going through the nominations, the parishioners just absolutely crushed it this year. And we had so many that I said, okay, we can do a top 25 with the data that we have. And we'll just throw it all out there rather than you and I, because we talked about narrowing it down to maybe 25 and then they vote on 10, right?
That was the problem is that, there were 40.
We have 46. After breaking down duplicates, there was a lot of duplicates. Excuse me. We had 46 individual cigars that were nominated. But the thing is, if we did the top 10, you and I would have had our hands in this because we would have been deciding, cutting things up.
That's the problem. And that was kind of the problem that we had was, how do we present 46 cigars to the parishioners for voting and then say, okay, guys, your top 10. Well, as we noticed, some of the vote totals were very, very close. And so, by doing so, you kind of cut some of these cigars out maybe by just a smidge from the list if you did only a top 10. And so we kind of decided, screw it, let's do a top 25, throw it out there. It is what it is. And, we go at it that way.
Well, we had so many cigars that, we had everybody vote for they ranked out of those cigars, they ranked their top 10, and it was scored based on that tiered scoring. And we had so many cigars that we could take that scoring, all the scores, and extrapolate it out to a top 25.
Precisely. You said it more eloquently than I did.
Because I said extrapolate. I just caught myself.
You're like $5 word. Okay. Anyway. So we so that's basically how that all came about. And now there was one little oddity. And so anyway, before we touch on that, basically from there, the list is put out, the parishioners vote, and then the data is compiled, and that's the list. So once again, you and I have absolutely nothing to do with picking who's on the list, the placement on the list, anything like that. It is purely 100% parishioner nominated and parishioner voted. So
even down to the thought process behind it, even down to putting the cigars out for the voting portion of it, they were listed in alphabetical order just to make things clean. It wasn't a matter of, I'm going to put this one. Nope. Alphabetical order. You choose, and if you want to be at the top of the list next year for voting, then start your brand at the letter A.
Come out with something in the name. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but there was some like little oddity in the voting. Okay. There were, well, correct me if I'm wrong, there were 2 cigars that didn't get any votes.
Correct, which is mind-boggling because of the way this runs.
Yeah, because when you told me that, I was like, well, then that means that 2 people, at least, well, theoretically, at least one person, because I guess one person could have dominated both of these cigars. So minimum of one person, maximum, I guess, of 2 people, whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is 2 cigars were nominated by an individual, and that individual didn't vote for the cigars that they nominated.
Right.
So either they looked at the list and said, holy shit, 46 other cigars here are better than the one that I nominated. So I'm going to, whatever.
Way off.
But what? I'm sorry?
They sat there and said, Samsonite. I was way off.
Way off, exactly. Yeah, but the bottom line, they didn't vote for the ones they nominated, which I think is very bizarre.
It is weird. It's like, hey, these are my top 3, but I'm not going to vote for it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over here and vote for this guy. So yeah, that was weird. But
so yeah, that was odd.
So,
but we're not going to tell you who those 2 were. That's a lot of people are asking right now, like what were those cigars? What were those cigars? I will tell you this: we were talking about it before we came on. Nick thought it was a great idea. He's like,
no, wait a minute, do it. I did not say that. I in fact said specifically, do not name the 2 cigars.
No, you said that. But then I came up with an idea, like if people wanted it, if they wanted to know what they were. So if you want to know what those 2 are,
I don't care about this. I just want you to just blur it out.
No, I would never just blare it out. But anyone who spends $100 or more at FahkingGoodCoffee.com, I will personally tell you the bottom 2. So get your fingers on the keyboards, folks, and light it up.
Buy some coffee and find out what cigars got fucked.
A little sip. I'll even do a Zoom with you. Have a cup of coffee.
There you go.
And it has to be in one shot. It can't be, I'm going to buy 10 here, 10 there. $100 one shot, and it's going to be done by, I don't know, Monday. Let's call it this Monday. Whatever the date is.
You have this weekend to do.
You have the weekend. So
yeah, there you go. Okay.
Go to the couch cushions, get all your quarters and nickels and pennies, and let's go. I'll tell you who they are. I'll have a cup of coffee with you over Zoom.
There you go.
Nobody's going to buy anything.
You know what?
Because I threw in the cup of coffee on a Zoom.
There's that. You know what? You never know. Somebody might. There might be somebody that's like, I need a friend. There you go.
My mother's going to buy it. She wouldn't listen to this mess.
Probably for the best.
I know.
Probably for the best.
So yeah.
Okay, so why don't we go ahead now and jump into, so in this episode, because we are still rolling out the list, we're taking our sweet ass time with it. I know some people have been, making jokes at the expense,
Mr. J.
Mr. Jonathan, Mr. J. Look,
please
just because you guys want to be all like, there are no losers. There's only the one winner, and then everybody else is whatever. It's
tie
like,
for second.
Yeah, it's like, look, and rainbows and unicorns and fairies can live in your world as well. But in our world, we have a ranking, and we're also not the authority, so we have to drag this out a little bit and get a little attention for it. So.
No, we're not dragging it out for any other reason other than this is the way it should be.
Well,
at the end
we're getting attention, and the reason I'm saying that is by doing it this way, all the brand owners that are on the list get at least a day of.
They get their due.
Everybody gets their due. Yeah,
and I'll tell you what,
you put it out at once.
It's like,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
mushed in with everybody else.
Precisely.
But I will tell you, it's working. I'm actually really happy the way it's going, because up to now we've as of today, sometime today this episode comes out, we will have number 9. Sorry, number 9 released.
Number 9.
Because we just did number 10 on Thursday, number 9 on Friday, and catch a 9er in there.
Number 9.
And I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm just saying it. It's not.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm just saying it.
But I'm really happy the way it's going, because you're seeing some of the brand owners so far interact, and they're gracious, and and to be honest, they should be excited about this list, because these are people who smoke their cigars, and they're nominating them. And
these are consumers.
Correct.
not reviewers, not magazines, not shop owners. These are straight up consumers that took their hard-earned money, put it down on the counter, bought their product, smoked it, and said, "Holy shit, that's good enough for a top cigar of the year list."
Yep. I mean, it's probably the purest top 10, top 25 list out there.
I concur.
Meaning it's fully consumer based. Now, is it as widespread as we'd like it? Nope. But I'll tell you what, it's bigger than it was last year, and it's only going to get bigger next year. So that's what she said.
Precisely.
But but I am happy the way it's going. I am happy with some of the brand owners.
Oh man,
that are interacting with it.
If that's what she said, yeesh. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, all right. So, without further ado, let's get into the list.
Got a sound dropper?
No.
No, you made it sound like you were leading into a sound like.
No, I have my board. It's set up. I got the Villiger
Top 25.
Holy shit!
How's that?
In the year 2000. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Boy, the sad part, there's going to be a percentage of listeners that hear that and have no idea what I'm talking about.
And you know what's funny? I heard Conan actually talk about that recently.
Yeah.
And how, they were like, well, what are we going to do with the bit after 2000 hits? Like, because they kept doing it. And he's like, no, we have to keep it the year 2000. Like, that's the bit. Like, it's fun. And he was right. He's dead on. Guys, brilliant man. All right, let's do this. Let's start with 21 and 25, because that was the first batch of 5, right?
All right. So we'll start at the number 25. Sure. And we'll start there. And it's our friends over there at Aladino. It's the Aladino Corojo. Now, this is the core line. The first one out of the gate, standard issue Aladino Corojo cigar. This is not the Corojo Reserva. This is just the Corojo cigar. But I think, to be honest, this cigar maybe gets overlooked a little bit because of the Corojo Reserva, and maybe because of some of the future releases that came along later. Like the Cameroon and the vintage selection. There's other ones that have come out since that one that started it all, that I think this one kind of gets overlooked a little bit. So I think it's really nice that it made the list.
Yeah, for sure. Aladino it's a standard with the Parishioners. Like, it shows. Here's what it shows. I'll be honest, and I'll just kind of tickle your nuts for a second. It shows the power of the pulpit of the podcast. It shows this is a sponsor, right? That's influential. You guys, the show is influencing these people to go out and purchase that and spend their money on Aladino and try Aladino and find out, oh shit, these are good cigars, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So a message out there to any brand owner that is in this top 25. Hey, you might be 11 to 25 now. Well, let's sprinkle a little sponsor money in there, and for 2024, who knows? A year from now, you could be top 10, maybe number 1. So
you never know.
It's the power of the pulpit, man, for sure. And I totally see that throughout the entire process of this. I saw it last year, and 100% again this year, full fledged. So, but yeah, Aladino's got 2 right there in the top, in the first batch of 5, because they had the vintage selection in there as well. So right off the rip, Aladino.
Well, you're jumping ahead. Look at that.
I know, but I'm just, I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. Well, so switching gears for a second, though. Number 24, we've got the West Tampa White from Rick Rodriguez.
Correct. Yep. Another good cigar again.
I was gonna say, have you had the white?
I've had them all. Yeah. Actually, I lied. I have not had them all. I have not had. Nope. I did have the Attic series, so I have had them all because I had. That
I have not.
Time I was in New Hampshire.
I have actually not had the white, and I have not had the Attic series. And then he has this new one that's out.
I have not had the new one yet, and I forget the name of it. It's interesting.
Named after a street, I think, isn't it? I feel like.
I remember when I saw him at the expo, he was telling me about it, that he had a new one coming out, because I'd asked him what was coming up. And I don't think he gave me the name of it. And even if he did, I'll be honest, Rick, I'm sorry, but it was not easy. It's not easy to for me to remember now. I would remember
rolling off the
I wouldn't remember it after a few cocktails anyway. So
there you go. Well, as you pointed out, number 23 is the Aladino Vintage Selection. And again, fantastic cigar that, it came out and it added something different to the Aladino portfolio. It had that Corojo binder filler, but it had that aged Habano wrapper around the outside. Super, super good cigar.
Yep.
And then number 22, we have the Alec Bradley Double Broadleaf.
Yep, who our buddy Dave thought got robbed, but hey.
What?
It's a good cigar. Made top 25. Dave over at Smoking Ass and Butts Tapping. He thought, I'm pretty sure it was him that thought that got robbed. He's mentioned something in the Parishioners group.
Oh, okay.
How they get robbed? I mean, it made top 25.
Yeah, I was saying, it made the list out of everything that's out there. It made the list. So that's
what's fun about these lists is it sparks that conversation. Like, hey, man, this should have been better. It shows, hey, there's people that actually are passionate about these.
There you go. And then number 21, we have the Garofalo Sungrown. And that's Dave Garofalo over there, Two Guys Smoke Shop there. And he was very gracious about his placement on the list. He admitted he'd like to see it a little higher, but at the same time said he's in some really great company, and he
was.
I
won't say numbers wise or anything, but I can tell you that it was damn close to cracking top 20, and a lot of these were close to be. They were literally like a vote or two away, maybe a top 5 vote ranking away from mixing up a whole bunch of cigars on this list.
You want to talk about the voting process and how it was scored for just a second? Sure. That way people kind of understand how it got where it got.
Yeah, the only fair way that you can really do it is a weighted system, right? So if a cigar gets a number 1 vote, like a top, if people voted 1 through 10, they ranked their 1 through 10. So if it got a number 1, it got 10 points, and if it got a number 2, it was 9, 3, 8, so on down to 10, you get 1. So for example, any cigar, let's say it got a 5, right? So that would be 6 points. I can tell you from the numbers, right? It would have been 10 is 1 is 10, 9 is 1 is 10, 2 is 9, 3 is 8, 4 is 7, 5 is 6.
Okay.
So it would have been 6 points. Yeah, your face made me.
I was doing the math. Math is not my strong suit. Yeah. Anyway.
So think about it. If it gets a number 5 vote, just right in the middle there, that's 6 points. I can tell you that 6 points could have really drastically changed a whole ton of these cigars. So, and I can say for certain, I won't say by how much, but if that cigar got a 5, would have been ranked another one ranked 5. It would have been it would have been within 5 more. It would have been in the next batch.
Wow,
for sure. So that's how close these were. And let me look at the list real quick. I can tell you, we're in the top 25, but there were, I would say that there was 5 cigars that were one of those, even a small vote away, even like
Really?
even like a 6 through 10 ranking
Could have
away
gotten them
from
into the
right
list.
to right into that bottom batch.
Wow.
So next year, when you're voting for these, like think about that. Like your vote actually counts. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
This isn't the
Oh, dude,
U.S. election system.
Yeah, no, I remember the last day you were saying like, man, if we get even like a couple of votes here at the last minute, the whole like not just the top 25, but he's like, the top 10 could change drastically,
Like 7
at
through
the
10.
at the last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, 7 through 10 could have just been jacked up completely if we got late votes that went a certain way. So
Yeah.
that's how so that's why nothing was set in stone until we actually shut off the voting. So which is cool. That's good. That means all these cigars are pretty
Oh,
fairly rated. There were
precisely.
a few that stood out completely, and you'll find out what those are. But yeah, the top this to kind of wrap up this 21 to 25, they were tight. I mean, they were super super tight.
There
and
you go.
it was good, it was solid.
There you go. So let's move on to the next batch, which is 20 through 16. And that starts with another selection from West Tampa Tobacco, and that would be the Attic series.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rick's got 2 already, right? So
Yep.
let's not forget, too, last year's winner
was the black.
The black, West Tampa Black. So,
Yep.
Again, power of the pulpit. West Tampa was brand new. I mean, at this point, I think they're only about 20 months old or so. I don't even think they're 2 years old yet. And this is a user generated list. And it won last year at this time, being in business for less than a year. And
I know that
yeah.
Scott over at the Smoking Butts and Tapping Ash, after hearing about the black winning the Parishioners thing, went out, tried it, and it rapidly became, I think, one of his favorite cigars. He smoked a shit ton of those throughout the year.
Power of the pulpit, man. The influence is there. And you can see this year already 2 of the top 25 already.
Yep. So the number 19 goes to the Stolen Throne, Crook of the Crown. I really do like that cigar. I've had that. I don't have it as regularly as I would like, only because none of the shops in St. Louis, I can't say none of them. None of the ones I go to frequently carry it. However, there's a few shops that I hit up while I'm on the road, like when I'm out in Indianapolis visiting my dad and whatnot, that they carry it. And so I'll stock up and grab some there. Great cigar.
Cool.
So, okay. I thought you'd maybe have something to throw in, but so number 18,
a long list, man.
Okay. I get, well, number 18, we have the All Saints Cigars Habano.
Yep. Mickey's one of those guys that you can tell he's appreciative of lists like this. I mean, he's what I was talking about before. He's engaged. He's following it intently. I can tell, and that's awesome. And I'm hoping more brand owners are doing that. And they all are at this time of year. If you're a brand owner and you're not following these lists and seeing where you fall, I mean, are you really caring about what people think?
Yeah.
Probably not. You're just in it for the dollar and not to satisfy everybody. And Mickey's not one of those guys who, knowing him personally and, outside of work, if that's what you want to call it. And then talking to him and seeing him interact this way, he's active on this. And, you'll see he's why he's active, because he's got another one coming up later. So
there you go. And number 17, we have the Dunbarton Tobacco Sin Compromiso.
I was surprised that was even nominated, to be honest, and nothing against the cigar. I just never thought that one would be in there, because I don't think it's a couple years old.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is an example of a not a 2023 cigar that I mean, there's other ones that have been on this list, I guess, so far. But like this is one that it's been out for a while, but hey, this nominator thought this one's smoking really good. I'm going to put it on the list, and enough people voted to agree that here it is at number 17.
And it's a good cigar. Deserves to be.
There you go. Then number 16, I'm going to butcher this. This is the Roma Craft Quinquagenario.
I pronounce it, similar. Roma Craft Quinquagenario. That's how I said it.
There you go. All right.
And I could be way off. It could be Quinquagenario. Who the hell knows?
Whatever. Have you had one?
I have not. No. Unless it was in a show pack from TCA. I don't remember. But no, I haven't.
Boy, that's a good question. I don't know if it is. But I don't believe I've had it.
But my goal is to have, again, with this list, how influential is it? My goal is to have all these that I haven't had.
I was going to say, there's other ones now that I need to go out and seek out and try. And, it's one of those things that I'll do that. Roma Craft, as a brand, in my area, I mean, I don't want to their reach in my area is a little limited. So, that's also another brand that while I'm on the road, if I see something and I'm like, oh, hey, that's something different I don't see every day, I might pick it up. So I'll have to take a look for that whenever I'm out and about. That's
a great point too. And that's another reason that these brand owners pay attention to these lists. Something like that. Like, oh man, I'm getting a call from Southern Illinois. We're not out there, but this guy's called me 3 times. Like, hey, what is this cigar?
I want to try this.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it's awesome. I think it's great. I think it does a lot more than just show a list of 25 cigars.
For sure. And then we're now coming into 11 through 15. So this will kind of get us through the bottom bulk of the list. Leaves just the top 10 remaining. So coming in at number 15, we have probably, in my opinion, I'm just going to say it. In my opinion, my personal favorite cigar that Crown Heads puts out, the Mil Diaz.
Okay. So I don't think I've had that, to be honest.
Really?
No, I don't remember.
I feel like it's been out a couple of years now. I do think they put out a different size this year. Now that size may be a limited deal. I don't know, like a different Vitola, like a limited thing. I don't know, but super good cigar.
Well, you bring up another point. I want to
try that out. Yeah,
I definitely want to. Again, this list, those I haven't had, I'd love to try because obviously these are things that people like, and if they're good, I'm gonna try them. But you bring up a great point when you say Vitola and different sizes. You know, again, that's not one of the criteria. We didn't specify. Yes. Okay, it's got to be this Vitola. It's this brand, this blend, like this name, this cigar. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's not get specific on Vitolas. If we want to do that, we can. But I'll be honest with you, I don't want to really pigeonhole it, but bring it down to that too nitty gritty. It's too much.
Too in the weeds. Exactly. It's like too in the weeds, being like, oh, I like just the Petite Corona of this one, not the Toro, but the
because then it ruins the voting too. Because then it's like, okay, let's say you've got cigar ABC that in the Robusto is somebody nominated it, then somebody nominated in the Toro, and then somebody nominated in the Churchill. Now you go to vote for it. It's like it's all spread out. Let's just let's just go.
It concentrates it. Yep, exactly.
It thins it out too much.
So then, number 14, we have the Foundation Cigars Olmec Maduro. Now that's a cigar that I maybe have had one of. However, I discovered prior to hitting the road to come on the trip that I'm on right now that I have 2 of them in a little bag in my humidor sitting there waiting for me, that I must have bought at some point with the thought that, I'll do like a little review. I've been collecting some cigars for review purposes, and I must have set those aside and forgotten about them. So I have 2 of those waiting for me for when I get home.
Okay. Yeah, that's not one I've had either. But I'll be honest with you, the feedback on this list so far, there are some people like, that's an awesome cigar. So
that is an awesome cigar from what, everybody's saying. I've had it. like I said, I know I had at least one of them, and I do remember liking it. I can't tell you specifics necessarily because I only had the one, but from I will say this: Foundation Cigars. I love what Nick Melillo's putting out. So if this one's getting a lot of good buzz and everything like that, it must be a really, really good cigar because it's already coming from a good company that's putting out other good products. So, yeah, it's got the juice behind it already.
Yeah.
So number 13 is one that's definitely been around for a little while, but everybody still likes and still pushes. It's the La Flor Dominicana, the Andalusian Bull.
Good cigar. I mean, really good cigar. Was a former #1 cigar aficionado. Yep. And this is one of those cigars that when Cigar Aficionado releases their list, generally when there's a #1 cigar, that cigar is top of the sales list. Immediately consumers want to get it. They're going after it, and they went after this one. But I think the smart thing that LFD did is they didn't mass produce and overproduce this cigar just to meet the demand and sacrifice the quality of the cigar. And I thought that was awesome. So that's why now it's hard to get. No, I don't want to say it's like super hard to get, but it's not an easy cigar to grab.
Yeah. So it's still got that little bit of mystique out there, and people still want to get it and give it a shot. So number 12, we have a entry from Christoph. It's the Christoph Guardrail.
Really good cigar. Really good cigar.
Yeah.
In fact, I've had a couple of those. And in fact, remember, we are part of that blind taste group.
We are.
And I had told you, I said, I believe this cigar is a Christoph Guardrail. And it's the cigar that we had that was unbanded.
Okay.
And it turned out when it came out, it was the Guardrail. You had texted me, you said, hey, you're right. It was the Guardrail.
Oh.
Remember that? Yeah. So I was like, the last one that we did. Actually. Yeah, the last one we did. The last one we did.
I know, but I've done
me.
I've done a couple of them. I did a couple of them in a row. I got my December one done super early in the month because I knew this month was going to be tight. So I got that off to them like first few days of December. Yeah. So I did the November one and the December one almost back to back because my November one was really late. So,
well, regardless, awesome cigar.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. That's actually one of the better cigars, I think, of this top 25 list this year. I actually expected that to be in the top 10. I probably would have voted it in the top 10 myself personally, but
yeah,
close enough, man. 12, and
there you go.
Again, it's one of those cigars that was, it could have been. I'll look real quick. Where are you? Yeah, it was a vote or two away from cracking the top 10. So,
well, there you go. Great. Well, coming in at number 11, it's another entry from Mickey Peg. It's the All Saints Cigars Colorado, which I remember when he debuted that, when he brought it for the first time to TPE, when it was first coming out. And I'm trying to remember, was that last year or was that 21?
It was my first year at TPE.
So 22.
21.
Was it 20? Was it 21?
22. Yeah. So, because I know he gave me one. So, it was awesome. Great cigar. Really good.
What? Yeah, it is. And, but I remember telling him at the time that it was good, that I thought it would get a lot of awards and accolades, that it's like, because he had just gotten the Cigar Authority's Cigar of the Year for the St. Francis.
Was it that
so maybe
year?
It was 20.
It wasn't that year. It wasn't that year.
But I remember telling him like, oh, you might get it again next year with the Colorado. It's like, that's this good.
No, because that was the year Perdomo's got it that year, because that was the year I was the first one to get Nick with the coin.
Yeah, but the coin comes out the year after that they had it.
No.
Yeah, they have it for the
year. It came out
and
in the show pack. So this year they'll have the number one
I
cigar.
remember. I just remember distinctly
All right.
telling Mickey
All
that
right.
he was
Whatever.
gonna. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. Fuck it. Okay.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So, that and the fucking printer started like coming alive on me, and I don't know what the hell that was all about. I was like, what the hell?
All right.
Goddamn some ghosts. Anyway, so do we want to get into the top 10 here, or do we want to like save that and review the 10 later?
Let's review the 10 later, even though number 10 came out.
I was gonna say number 10
yesterday.
is out, and then number 9 will be out,
today.
When this episode drops,
Probably midday. They've been mostly late morning, midday. So,
yeah, but
yeah.
Okay. We'll leave the 10 for later. So
my question is this,
been
Nick.
11
Let me
through
ask you
25.
this.
Yeah.
Out of all these cigars, do you think any of them should have been in the top 10?
Why are you going to put me on the spot like that?
Do you not want to play favorites?
See, that's
if
why
you don't, I understand.
That's why I kind of like the way that we do this.
I know
that you and I are completely like detached from it, and I don't have to make a decision.
I'm with you.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me go.
I mean, I'll start while you're looking. I mean, to be honest,
yeah, I need to find the list that you sent me of the top 10 so that I can.
Gotcha.
Make sure.
I probably would have had the guardrail in the top 10, probably over. I would say at least 2 of the top 10s that are in there now. Probably 3. I won't say which, but and those 3 wouldn't be far off. But I feel like those would have switched. And with this Colorado being on the list, the All Saints, I mean, I really enjoyed that cigar. That as well probably would have got a top 10 vote from me.
I will say there's probably... I'd say there's probably two that I would have switched out of the top 10 for 2 that are in the 11 through 25. I'm not going to say what I would take out of the top 10.
No.
And in terms of what I would put in the top 20 or the top 10 from the 25, again, it's just personal smoking preference. I tend to like, or I've been for the last, couple of years now, gravitating towards the sun-grown, the Habanos, that sort of thing. That Garofalo sun-grown is amazing, and I'm not doing that just to... I knew you were going to accuse me of it, but
I knew everybody listening is doing that.
It's a Perdomo cigar, for God's sakes, okay? So, let's be real here. This is... it's a really good cigar, and what do I smoke like constantly on the regular? Perdomo Habano sun-grown. So, I mean, it scratches where I itch. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good cigar. And then... I would agree with you on the Colorado, the All Saints Colorado. I really like the All Saints Colorado. I probably would have, if I would have been given that list of all those cigars and say, make your top 10, I think those 2 would have made it into the top 10 versus 2 that are in the top 10, but I'm not going to name what 2 those are.
And you know what's interesting? You bring up Perdomo. I guess we can't say that a Perdomo wasn't even nominated. But the Garofalo is a Perdomo, so So technically, you want to get technical, it was in there, but you don't see any other of his core lines, and it's too bad because I'm not gonna lie, there's a few in those.
Dude, there's some of those I
dominate most of
on the
list,
regular,
in my opinion.
On the regular, yeah.
But that's okay. Like it's okay. Like that's fine. He's not hurting because of this.
No,
but at the same time,
I was gonna say I don't think anybody's crying themselves to sleep over it, but
but at the same time, this shows that people are smoking everything.
I will say too, it'll be interesting to see if the 30th ends up on the list next year. And part of me says that there's going to be a percentage of people that put it out there and vote for it and nominate it and everything like that. But on the flip side, the limited availability of that cigar, I think, might be the thing that kind of holds it back from more of the broad appeal kind of thing. The people that smoke it are going to love it, but the amount of people that smoke it are going to be way less than the amount of people that don't. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm going to do this. I apologize. I have to cut for a second. I have a barking dog at my door. that I need to tend to, so it's not waking everybody else up. But I don't know if you have something you want to do, but I apologize. I'm going to be right back.
You know what? I'll talk about My Monthly Cigars for a moment.
That's a great idea.
There you go.
Kill this camera.
Just hit mute and just
stop
go
video.
away.
All right, see ya.
Well, okay. Well, anyway, so My Monthly Cigars, guys, is a premium cigar subscription service where you can get a box of cigars sent to your door every month. Come in a couple of different sizes. They have the Robusto box, which is 4 cigars for $30. They have the El Presidente box, which is 8 cigars for $50. It's 2 of everything that's in the Robusto box. And you can get those shipped to your house and enjoy them every month. If you use offer code PULPIT, PULPIT, you get free shipping on your first box. And, you can go from there. And while you're over there at mymonthlycigars.com, you can also try the Fahking good coffee. You can pick up the Daily Press, which is the cigar pulpit blend. You can also pick up the lounge blend and a variety of other beautiful, beautiful coffees. And if you go over to well, I think that promotion's over by now. Anyway, that's Fahking Good Coffee, FAHKinggoodcoffee.com. You can go to that website for the coffee, but you can also get some of the coffee over at mymonthlycigars.com. Anyway, I guess while he's gone, I'll go ahead and start this segment. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. So, Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report. What have I been watching lately? I have been on the road the last few days and busy doing stuff. And so, realistically, hey, he's back. I literally just started the Villiger Cigar segment.
Oh, cool.
So, I was just explaining that I've been on the road lately. Haven't really had time to watch much of anything. However, prior to coming on to record with you, I was sitting in the easy chair watching some TV. I had access to cable.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't, and this sounds stupid. I haven't had access to cable in a number of years. And, I did the whole cord cutting thing. And one thing about the streaming apps is that when you're in it, you kind of have to decide. You have everything available, but you have to decide what you want to watch. Okay? With cable, you have the flip. You can flip through. And if something catches your eye, you can be like, what is that? And you can stop and start watching something, and you can figure it out as you go. I miss the flips sometimes, just the mindless flipping to just find something. Mm-hmm. And so earlier tonight, I was flipping between Intervention, Catfished, Dateline, and Ghostbusters.
Dateline,
and it was amazing.
Were you looking for yourself on To Catch a Predator? Were you looking for your episode? Or?
Son of a bitch!
Is this mine?
Not supposed to talk about that.
Why don't you have a seat, Nicholas?
The courts made Chris Hansen take that one down.
Oh my God! What a great show, To Catch a Predator. I love that. I miss it. He's got a different one now on YouTube. And I think he does. I think he's on one of those, like, I don't want to call him podunk Mickey Mouse, but like those like lesser known streaming channels. And he does like a different show, and it's not called Catch a Predator, but it's something similar. It's another take on those words. And he's like way more of a dick. And it's really funny. Like, he'll sit down and fuck, like, the cops will come in and I saw when the cops came in, they put the guy in the ground. They had him cuffed. They had the guy's face in the rug, and Hansen's sitting there, legs crossed, sitting back in a chair with his clipboard, just asking questions like, well, why did you say beep, beep? Like, why did you? I have it right here. Nick,
well, I don't have any pity or sympathy for the people that they're taking down, because whatever.
That's why I love it too. I love just grab these
yeah,
assholes.
I mean, I've made no bones about what I feel should be done with people that do things to kids on this show. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
So
But so
but cable. So yeah, I'm with you. My folks have
yeah. So now I've been
still.
flipping.
Yeah, that's awesome. But here's the thing with streaming, you can flip with YouTube TV because it's the closest thing I think that you have, because you can just go straight through and it's still watching everything, and you kind of get that. You don't see the words at the bottom, you see the actual show. So every block has the show going at the same time. So it's not exactly the same, but it's as close as you're going to get. But I agree with you. You have to pick what you want.
I don't have YouTube TV, and Hulu tried getting me to subscribe to the super premium whatever the hell package the other day. So I'm done watching Dark Side of the Ring, and they have another show called Tales from the Territories, which is from back in the day when they had the different wrestling territories before Vince McMahon kind of sucked them all up and merged them. And they bring the old timers together and they just tell goofy stories from way back when. And it sounded really cool. So I wanted to watch that. Well, it's on Hulu. However, it's on their premium thing, which is like $70 a month. And I'm like, fuck you, you know? So I did not do that. Now the first episode is available in its entirety on YouTube. So I watched that. But I
mean, that's the thing now, dude. We all have so many streaming services that we might as well have cable. You know, at this point.
Dude, I think, to be honest, I think if I were to add up the amount of money I spend on streaming services, I'm probably spending close to what I would be spending on cable again. Which
we do it every year.
It's so bizarre, you know, when you think about it. It's like we're all bitching when we had cable, like, oh, I just want an a la carte and pick what I want. Then you finally get to do that, and they consolidate it up to now you're spending the same amount of money.
Yeah, because they separate everything and contracts and all that stuff, and you know, it's we go through it every year. Like at the end of the year, we'll probably do it in a couple of weeks. We'll probably look at which ones we have. We always drop one or two every year.
Yeah.
I just keep the core. I keep the YouTube TV. I really like that, to be honest. And because another reason it has I think the better sports packages now that they have the NFL package too, which is awesome. They did a really, really good job this year. I'll give them credit in the first year, which means it's only going to get better. I mean, you can pop. They do what I always wanted to do. They have what I always wanted to do was take I have a 65-inch. I have one of the curved TVs in my basement, flat screen, all that's super nice. But I always wanted to put multiple screens on the TV, like picture in picture kind of was.
Yeah, yeah.
And this year the NFL package has that. You put four. I mean, they always had the 8, but you could put 4 different games on one TV, and now you can use multiple TVs for that. I think you can use up to 3 per account, so you can have 12 on at once. They never really have 12 at once, but you can put 12 on at once. Now, also my basement, I also have a wall of 4 different TVs and recliners that I have set up for days like that, and like March Madness. So I've got 3 games going at once. Actually 4, sorry. So now I do 4. I used to do 3 with Red Zone, but now I don't even watch Red Zone. I got 4 games going.
Well, you got the games going. Why do you?
Awesome.
Interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
My God, you've turned your basement into Buffalo Wild Wings.
It kind of is. Like during March Madness, I started last year. We used to go. It's funny you mentioned that. We used to go. Everybody would take the day off on Friday, first weekend of the tournament, basketball tournament, and go to Buffalo Wild Wings. Meet there at like 11:30, and just stay, eat, and drink all day, watch the games. Now, come to my house. So we spend the whole day Friday from 11:30 to 11 o'clock in the basement, just open. We got a Papa Shop back there, down there, and
meanwhile, there's all these unemployed Buffalo Wild Wings employees that
like waiting for tips.
They're all just like, that fucking
they're doing
Gervais,
fine.
He used to party at our place, and now he's doing it there.
I'll tell you what, Buffalo Wild Wings, which is funny, I'm even thinking about this. Hey, bring back cigar smoking. I'll show up. I'll come there.
It's true.
Because I remember smoking cigars in a Buffalo Wild Wings when I used to visit out here.
Really?
So this is this is like 14 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So I lived in Mass. I lived out in Boston, and my wife, was from out here in Ohio. So we would come back and forth and visit and stuff, and we'd go to Buffalo Wild Wings with a group of people, sit at a huge round table, and I light up a cigar. I would bring my cigars in, and I would like there just sitting and drinking, and it was really interesting now that I think about it, and it's odd. Like it's really, really odd to think back that, but it was cool. Yeah, this is like 14, 15 years ago. Crazy.
Right. Well, there you go.
Hey, bring it back and I'll show up. So
there you go. Well, what have you been watching? Anything since the last time you were on?
No, I restarted Sopranos. I can't. I mean, every time I watch it, I catch something different, and I'm watching different things, and like I like watching from the beginning and seeing where the characters started.
Yeah.
And I'm in the first season. I think I'm like episode 5 or whatever. They just got. Sorry, I'm boring you.
No, I know.
I'm just kidding.
Tired. Yeah.
They just had the dinner where they announced Junior as the boss, and the staff, the wait staff that was there, had all like the lapel
all the cameras.
Yeah.
And
they moved them all. So that's the last one I just watched, and
okay.
It's just really interesting to see where these characters were from the beginning and how they finished. And what's funny about Paulie is he's constant. He's the same throughout, which I didn't realize until like this time watching it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, Silvio's different. Christopher changed. Tony changed. Carmel, like everybody changed. Obviously the kids grew up, but
then there's Paulie.
Paulie was he stayed the same the whole time. Fucking great. It's awesome.
Yep.
He's like stupid, but and his wisecracks at the same time. Like, it's good. It's good. I like it. So that, and then I finished that Big Dig podcast.
Oh yeah.
Fucking so good, man. It was really good. And I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show, because I think when I was only on the episode 2. So I'm in the car and I'm listening to it, and I forget which episode it is, but they're talking about Charlestown. Charlestown is adjacent to Boston, right? So that's where a lot of the mass transit goes through, like the T can go through there. So they talked about how like people get from towns surrounding Boston, how they used to get into work and into the city, and from the North Shore to the South Shore. So north of Boston to south of Boston, they'd have to go through the city, through this ugly overpass. And they basically took the gist of it is they took this huge bridge overpass that went through downtown Boston, tore it down, and then put it underground. And for all the shit that it's gotten over the years, like, because I grew up with this, like hearing all about what a mess. Oh, this is it, traffic, it sucks. It is one of the greatest civil engineering feats possibly ever that was done and accomplished. It's amazing what it was and what it is, and how much better. As much as traffic is a shit show in Boston at any given time, it is, believe it or not, much easier now, much smoother. So people who were driving before the Big Dig started, and driving still now, doing the same route to like here, they say it's night and day. Like, it's so much better. So, but anyways, I don't think I talked about this on like episode 4 of driving, and they're talking about Charlestown, and all of a sudden I hear this voice start talking. It's like, oh, it was a shit show. And I'm like, that sounds familiar. That voice sounds really familiar. And he's like, yeah, we talked to Charlestown resident comedian Tony V. I was like, oh no shit, that's right. That's Tony. So he's in the podcast, like he's quoted. And then he has a little line at the end too. It's funny. It's so yeah, shout out to Tony V.
Tony V.
Apparently all of my life the last couple of months.
I was gonna say, in the Big Dig.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, I know, talking to the guys, the authority, like afterwards, like we were talking about where he lives and all that kind of stuff, and he's a lifer basically, which is great.
You're taking notes for your stalking later.
No, I just know what he's got. Taking notes to No, I won't say it. I don't want to get his personal shit out there.
gotta peep through the window.
I do know he got his coffee. He did comment on
there you go.
On a post that he's like, I finally got my coffee because that guy Bill Burr stole it. So I left some for him with Dave, and Dave apparently got it to him. So, and he said he liked it.
Fucking Bill Burr.
Fucking
Anyway,
fucking criminal. Jesus
what the
Christ.
fuck?
You better start drinking coffee soon.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, other than that, I really haven't gotten into much. Just I'm still just watching football season, and I don't know. I want to start. You know what I did just put in my list though this afternoon was Married with Children. So I'm gonna start watching that from the beginning.
You know what? I think that's a show that has gotten some sort of a recent resurgence because I'm seeing a lot of clips on Instagram and reels and things like that of it. Yeah,
that's what got me. It said this show today would 100% be canceled right away.
Oh yeah.
And they showed a clip. Al had a wig, and I saw it this morning. He was wearing a wig. He's like, "What do you guys think?" And they all start laughing at him. And then Peggy says, "You look like a fruit." That would never fly on cable. And then the kids are laughing. And is it Bud? I think the kid's name's Bud. Bud's like, he looks like you're having a hard time opening the closet door. Like, I was like, holy shit, this is brutal. So I'm sure it's going to be funny to watch. No, not at all. Yeah. Not even on HBO. But
but that show was super. That and The Simpsons and whatnot, man, vital for the life of Fox right off the bat coming into the network wars. Yeah,
I think that's why Fox got that rap early on. They were like edgy.
Yeah. Well, the In Living Color.
Yep.
And Tracy Ullman and
Living Color, you know.
Yeah. So Cops, those were all super. Right. Yeah. So yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna start watching that. God,
what is that even on?
Hulu.
I'll be damned. Okay.
Yeah. Hulu. So
I guess they're merging that and Disney Plus sometime next year.
It's always been. I think it's actually been connected.
Yeah, but I got an email the other day that now there's a Hulu hub in Disney Plus where you can see Hulu content, and it's the beta. And from what I gather, I think the goal of this is to try and merge the two. Because I know, like Paramount Plus, they shut down the Showtime app, and they merged Showtime in with Paramount Plus.
Yeah, everything is swallowing everything else.
Well, yeah, HBO Max merged with Discovery, and so now you have Max, and so
and Cinemax. I'm pretty sure, right? No, Showtime is in there too.
Showtime was Paramount.
But what is the other one that's in Max? In the Max HBO, it used to be HBO Max. Now it's
HBO
Max. I thought it was
Discovery. It's Discovery.
Maybe
trust me, I know it's Discovery.
Okay, all right.
Because that's where my episode of Man vs. Food was at, and now I can watch that on Max.
Well, what do you figure? How do you figure out what to watch between that and your To Catch a Predator episode? That's hard.
Oh, the Man vs. Food is so much more fun to watch.
It's better to show people.
I was not on To Catch a Predator. For those people who are sitting back, I was not on.
That'll be a short.
NOT.
That'll be a clip that I pulled.
I specifically said I was not on To Catch a Predator. Yes. Anyway, so
yeah.
But where I am is Instagram at The Cigar Pulpit. We're also on Facebook where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group, which is how this list came about. You know, It's where the idea originated last year. It's where the nominating and the voting took place. So if you want to be in on it for next year's list, go over to Facebook and join the Pulpit Parishioners group. It's a private group, but all you gotta do is ask, and I'll let you in. Yeah. I'm on Twitter/X and YouTube where you can watch this, and I don't know, we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean,
and then you.
I'm everywhere at My Monthly Cigars and Fahking Good Coffee, and like I said, $100, spend $100 at FahkingGoodCoffee.com, and I'll tell you the bottom two that didn't get a vote on this list. But hey, you know what I saw today, real quick? Going back, give Villiger a little bit. There's two things coming out next year that I got hyped about today. that I saw. One was the new trailer for the new Beverly Hills Cop. It's coming out.
Oh, I heard there was a trailer coming out for that.
Trailer came out today, and then I did see an announcement.
Is Judge Reinhold in it?
Yep.
Ah, sweet.
The old cop. Right. Yep. Everybody's back.
You gotta have Judge Reinhold.
And then I saw today an announcement. February 4th, I think, is the final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm starts, which I'm excited for. So yeah, that'll be great. That's
not a show I ever watched or got into.
So good. Watch it from the beginning. Yeah. I could watch that from the beginning again.
Okay. But and one little addendum to the death show that I did with Noah on Tuesday. Literally dropped that on Tuesday, and literally on Tuesday, Andre Brower of Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Homicide: Life on the Street passed away at age 61. I read earlier today that I guess he secretly had been battling lung cancer and whatnot. So, but yeah, real shame. I liked him as an actor, and it's like that one kind of came out of nowhere. And I was like, son of a bitch,
Listen to me, good dude. Like I knew him. I meant to say like you, good actor.
Yeah.
He's probably a nice guy. I don't know.
I'm sure he was a nice guy, but
what's funny about that is when I read that.
Yeah.
I read the headline and I misread it, like dyslexic. And I'm telling my wife, I go, "Oh, the captain from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Remember him?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, he got killed in a homicide. She's like, "Holy shit, really?" I'm
holy
like, "Yeah."
Shit. It's like,
and then I go,
no, he was
I can't read.
on Homicide: Life on the Street, which
I can't read.
That show has just popped into my on my radar like a couple of different times, because I think I mentioned that maybe it was in that episode. There was somebody else from that show that passed away, and I think it was that episode. I don't know. I know recently I mentioned Homicide: Life on the Street and was basically saying like, oh, this is it's a really underrated, really good show, and it's not one that you see and hear a lot of these days. But it was on NBC, and it was on NBC. I remember they did like a crossover with Law and Order at least once, but dude, it was
crossovers with everybody.
It was so good. It was such a good show. It reminded me of almost like a prototype of like The Shield. Like it had that kind of gritty kind of cop situation, like kind of like The Shield. So I don't know. I'll have to see if it's available anywhere. I would imagine Peacock maybe might have it. If anybody would, I would think they would, but whatever. So
yeah, cool.
Yep. Well, anyway, so that's the business of the day. Well, guys, be watching all of the socials closely as we announce the rest of the top 10 release dates for the top 10. I know
pretty much every weekday. So every weekday except
I was going to say
Christmas.
I would say we take some time off for Christmas as a way to
it works out that way, because then that Friday I think is the 29th, and that will be the number one cigar release. So it works out like almost perfect.
And I'm working diligently to get the manufacturer that won the number one cigar spot scheduled to be on. I'm not going to say scheduled for that episode. So I'm working hard for that. So so the day this episode drops, number 9 will drop. Then on Monday the 18th, number 8, 19th we'll have 7, Wednesday 20th 6, Thursday the 21st 5, 4. So then, so then the 22nd is when number 4 comes out, and then it jumps to Wednesday, December 27th, when number 3 comes out. So just like you said, taking off the weekend and then Christmas time.
Because I remember when we looked at it, it was it made sense, and that Friday is the last Friday of the year, and that's the cigar of the year. Makes sense.
So that's
Why wait?
Cigar of the year. There we go.
Why wait? No bullshit
there you
here.
Go. No bullshit.
There's no bullshit here. Tagline: no bullshit here.
There you go.
All
well, Nick, thank you so much for taking time out. You want to say anything about your cigar before you go?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, this thing is powerful.
There you go.
Diesel, AJ. I mean, they're always powerful. So, no. How was yours?
Non-existent. So,
Good.
yeah, I'll have
No
a
flavor.
cigar sometime
No
soon.
flavor.
No flavor. It was fucking horrible. So,
Well, I'm
anyway,
I'm going to go a week without cigars next week. I'm on my way to Disneyland, Disney World.
happiest place on earth unless you're a cigar smoker.
I
Yeah,
know.
because fuck, they don't even have that Sosa cigars in downtown Disney anymore.
I am planning on
That little
not smoking
shopping
at all.
plaza or whatever, that
Mhm.
used to be the little last refuge of the damned. They had like 2 chairs in there that you could sit and have a cigar in. I don't even think that place is there anymore.
Well, usually when I'm in a hotel on a vacation trip like this, I don't know if my hotel has it or not, but if there's a balcony, I'll bring
Yeah.
some because I'll sit out, have a couple drinks at
Yeah.
night, and kind of wind down. I'll bring some for that, but I don't anticipate even having that option.
Yeah, the Disney property. Are you staying at a Disney property?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
they've-
say because the paparazzi will just
I
be
get it,
all over the
but
place. So.
but the Disney properties, they've cracked down pretty hard on the smoking stuff.
Yeah, what
Which
do
is so
cigarette
funny.
smokers do?
I don't know, because that's what I was about to say. Walt was a giant cigarette smoker.
Right?
Yeah.
It was
so-
also way back when, almost 100 years ago now.
I mean, true, but honor the
When
man.
smoking was cool.
Fucking cool.
Fucking cool, man. Put them in roll them up right here in your sleeve. We went as
Oh my God.
we had a group in college for Halloween once. We all went as greasers from the
Oh,
50s.
Lord.
We
Yeah.
got, no joke. We got all the girls in our dorm. We got jeans from them because that's what we could fit them. We would put their jeans on. They were so tight. We all had white tees, rolled up pack of cigs in there, and slick back hair. Phenomenal. We were the Shockers.
I bet you were.
We got a group.
You were.
Nick, we got a group photo, and we're all like,
oh my God. And were they the
Phenomenal.
pink ladies?
good times. No, they didn't. They weren't anything, and they definitely weren't the stinks either.
That's disappointing.
They wanted
Lord.
nothing to do with us. They were probably
I bet they
really
didn't.
frustrated that all these
She's trying
guys
to-
could fit in their jeans.
Trying to stick a pinky in their butt. I bet they're probably not wanting anything to do with you.
Hey,
Anyway,
nobody said anything about doing that. It was just a
you
Halloween
literally said we
costume.
were the Shockers.
Yeah, that was it didn't mean anything. That was our code, right? You know what I mean? Well, I almost
I
did
bet
it
it
wrong.
was.
No, we didn't do nothing. Bunch of dudes.
Well, guys, this has been another sermon from the cigar pulpit. I'm Nick.
I'm a shocker.
Everybody stay safe and stay smoking.
That's a hell of a way to end the show.
Shocking.
Zing. At least I wasn't on to catch a predator.
I wasn't. Just saying, for the record, I was not on to catch predator. I don't need that rumor started. Just saying.
I don't know what to say.
All
Now I'm tempted to go and make up some video with with when Chris Hansen coming out and go, and then you're right there.
No. We don't need any date fake shit like that. No.
Would be some shit.
All right. Later, guys.
See ya. Don't get caught by Chris Hansen. Again.